Welcome to the Edge of the Dinos, everyone. I'm your host, Swift Edge, and today we're doing something pretty fun, pretty cool, pretty different. We do not have a Jurassic Park analog horror or dinosaur horror. We actually have something that was requested for me to take a look at, and this is a video from Goji Center. They have done a lot of dinosaur kaiju fun monster videos, but I was asked to react to one in particular that is, we made the Indominus Rex even more deadly?
I want to go home.
Why does that need to be a thing? We already know how deadly the freaking Indominus was.
It can camouflage.
It doesn't need to be made worse, but the fact that they made an Indominus 2.0, I'm very curious to see what Goji did to improve upon it. Oh god. Hope you got your snacks, hope you got your drinks. We got 17 minutes of pure... No.
The Indominus Rex was notorious for laying waste to an entire park, leaving nothing but mutilated corpses in her path. But here on Goji Center, we are going to take this even further. How can we make the Indominus herself more dangerous and her warpath more lethal? Today, we will deliver nothing else but more chaos, more carnage, more blood. In a previous episode, we talked about the Ultimasaurus and its anatomy, and ended up bringing forth an even more powerful dinosaur capable of bringing down just about anything this island could throw at it. Even
who the fudge are you, Goji? Who are you? Why are you making these things? What the fudge is an Ultimasaurus? And then you made it worse? Oh my god. You know, dinosaurs don't need to be made worse. They're already terrifying as it is.
an angry sauropod. For this episode, we'll be doing more or less the same with the Indominus Rex, studying its genetic composition and replacing a few contributors with surprising life forms that you won't even see coming. The idea is to build a more lethal hybrid that will wipe out all significant life forms in this island, both big and small. And yes, this includes humans. This will require a different approach than what we did with Ultimasaurus imperatrix. This animal was a result of creating a dinosaur that fits a certain template. The Indominus at the end of this episode will still be an Indominus, but will look different, since the objective is to cause an extinction event quickly and efficiently. Making this hybrid bigger will only mean that smaller life forms such as humans and below will be able to easily hide from this animal. We'll be reconstructing this hybrid to fit our extinction needs as we go, starting with the overall frame.
Why does it need to be...
Not this type of frame, dude. This is for a poster. Now we can talk about the objective of this episode. If the objective is to try to reduce the population on Nublar, an animal bigger than the Indom wouldn't really cut it. This should be able to break it.
Why do you want to cause an extinction level? I understand that's the point of it, but holy crap, that thing was already on the ball for wanting to just take it all out. That dinosaur alone made everyone have to evacuate and cause pterosaurs to be loose, the raptors to turn. Like, oh my gosh.
Inside some buildings, as well as running down faster prey. So reconstructing the build might be necessary here. This doesn't mean that we're going to shrink the overall size. Remember, we do need to bring down these guys, sauropods too, so keeping her large will motivate her to keep hunting to meet her caloric needs. Outrunning the smaller life forms such as Gallimimus won't be necessary, since ambushing can do the trick just fine.
Yeah,
so what should we do? To begin, we'll reduce the size of the hind legs to make this animal a bit more quadrupedal. This seems counterintuitive, but consider that quadrupeds can distribute their weight on 4 limbs instead of just 2. This Indominus can now be potentially faster and quieter. That's right, now her weight can be distributed better instead of 2 booming footsteps, making her an even better ambush predator than she already is. Also, she now has a lower center of gravity, allowing her to have better balance and less likely to get toppled over. Our Indominus now looks a bit more menacing, but the biggest modification is about to begin.
It's like an iguana style, dude. That is terrifying.
It's no secret that the Indominus is extremely intelligent, but giving her better limbs and better dexterity will allow her devilish ideas to come to fruition much easier. That's why we'll modify her forearms to take the traits of an ape, like a chimpanzee. Before you freak out, note that she already has opposable thumbs, a trait also seen in apes. So pushing the already suspected ape genome here would most definitely help the Indominus a lot more in combat. How? Let us explain.
Oh god.
The forearms and shoulders of apes are anatomical marvels in the animal kingdom. Given this arrangement of bones and muscle, allow them to whirl their arms around 360 degrees. This range, if given to the Indominus, will make her grappling, mangling, and slashing so much more more stronger that no other dinosaur will have any effective counter against these flexible maneuvers.
This
But
is an
that's
ultimate
not
war
all.
machine.
This upgrade also comes with fast twitch muscles, making these arms a lot stronger than they already look. Any impact, grip, push, or throw will be many times more dangerous. And yes,
One
throwing as
ground
well.
pound and
One skill
everything's
exclusive
done.
to apes is the ability to hold things, throw them, and even use tools. Now, admittedly, it's a bit bizarre to see an Indominus use tools, but if the objective is for the Indominus to effectively kill all life forms, she will have to be capable of reaching tiny humans hiding inside crevices with her own arms, or with whatever else she can find. No, this actually can happen. In the real world, chimps have been observed fashioning spears to jam into cramped
Okay, so it's one thing to have already a dinosaur. Now we're pretty much getting a freaking dragonborn lizard folk from D&D of being able to do that. That is literally a D&D monster. What the fudge?
spaces, impaling the small animals inside. Because of the ape
That's
genome
so
coupled
messed
with
up.
the shorter hind legs, our Indominus will now move a little differently when she's walking. Knuckle walking would be a pretty easy way of getting around without ruining those claws. In the next section, we'll also be improving these. Our
Wouldn't
new
it-
Indominus is still capable of running on her hind legs,
Yeah, I was
using
about
her
to
front
say.
arms as support when tearing through rough terrain, climbing steep inclines, and running through wide alleyways. This is now an all-terrain hybrid. Number 3,
Oh, this is a
claws.
monster.
Now
This is a
to the
monster for
business end of
war.
these already overpowered claws. Therizinosaurus was a good contributor to these, and they did function well enough. But how can we make these better? When
You
it
don't
comes
need
to
to.
slashing and rending as well as grappling, there is another more optimal shape from another carnivore. None other than the largest predator in the Jurassic, Saurophaganax. Being this big means killing big dinosaurs. And what better with than these? What you see here is a reconstruction,
Oh
but does
my
not
God.
represent the largest known specimen
got
of this
short
genus.
swords.
So yeah, they could have been bigger than this. This sharp hook is the perfect shape to grip the victim compared to the straighter claws of the Indominus. Mixed with the ape-like forelimbs, these will literally shred through the skin of the thickest hides of some animals, as if you stuck a sharp hook in your mom's leather sofa. A hook
those
like
brackies
this
are not gonna
inside,
survive
backed up by
long.
powerful fast twitch movements, will destroy the thigh of any dinosaur. Even a sauropod would topple down from a wound from these claws. This weapon alone will lay waste to all large-sized creatures. This hand, now that we can call it that, will grip any animal, toppling it down and killing without even needing to involve the teeth. Its lower center of gravity, aided by a wider stance, will make it impossible for any
Nah.
herbivore or even large carnivore to flank
Nuke
this
it.
creature.
Nuke it,
Number
dude.
4, armor. With addition, subtraction will also be required. We already reduced the length of the hind legs, but we'll make another adjustment with this hybrid's armor. An animal this big, like the Indominus, only really needed to rely on its robust size and thick hide, rather than osteoderms. For instance, the T-Rex wasn't defeated here because she lacked armor, instead because she got out-grappled. Indominus would have been fine here with just her thick skin on top of her body. These spiky osteoderms are spread apart too much to be actually considered an effective form
You're
of
gonna
armor,
go like
but were there
Ankylosaurus?
just for the cool factor. The real armor here, and here was the thick skull and thick hide. This body armor on the upper body would have been
I forgot
courtesy
how
of
much destruction
Carnotaurus
happened in
and
that movie.
Majungasaurus. Upon looking at the animals themselves, we see that they both have tiny arms, kind of useless in combat. Keeping this mishmash of DNA would risk confusing the Indominus' instinct to use the forelimbs, complicating the internal anatomy now that this animal has even longer arms. Raptor DNA helps here, but we need something more to not only protect the Indom, but a contributor that is even more compatible with our now facultative quadrupedal hybrid. Meet the African dwarf crocodile. Okay, yes, it's a bit underwhelming at first glance,
that's small.
but this guy has something its bigger relatives lack. Armor on its upper body and below. Our Indom here was only armored from above.
He's got
and
that
not from the
bulletproof, man.
sides. So now, with our croc here making itself present in this genetic composition, we now have full body armor to work with. Not extremely thick and scaly like the Giga, but something resembling this croc's thick hide. That is
So it's pretty much going to be near impossible, because if its hide is going to be that toughened, meaning even predators trying to get at the Indom will have a harder time scratching and digging teeth into the underbelly. That's
is the part that's not covered by osteoderms. Something thick enough to fend off firearm projectiles and slashes. Another reason why this is the perfect animal to supply armor from is because this creature also has longer legs than your typical crocodilian. These guys spend most of their time on land and are known for rushing prey beyond cover of water. This muscular tail will help counterbalance the added bulk to the modified Indom forelimbs, making bipedalism easy when it wants to run on 2 legs. For this reason, the African dwarf croc proves itself a better contributor than the Abelisaurus. Not to mention that this new crocodilian-like tail and genetics now allows the Indominus to be more aquatic. Sure, the crocodilian attributes are already present with the integration of Dinosuchus DNA, but our Indominus 2.0 will have a bit more crocodilian influence to its overall build, making it able to pursue animals on both land and water.
Oh, that's terrifying.
But adding a dwarf crocodile is going to affect the size of this animal, right? No. Consider that adding raptor, Abelisaurus less than 2 tons, cuttlefish, and tree frogs didn't seem to shrink the damn thing. So adding a bit of reptilian croc DNA won't have too much effect. Okay, enough with the armor. Let's get to the fun stuff.
That wasn't fun?
The bite.
Oh,
Is it even possible to make this bite better here? Believe it or not, there is. The bite of the Indom was already kinda OP, given that the T-Rex base genome was already involved.
Yeah.
The robust head of the T-Rex allowed the Indominus to be resilient enough to withstand heavy blows. But another one involved was the Dinosuchus, which from a critical point of view didn't add much apart from bite force. Croc teeth are meant for penetrating and gripping, which compared to the effects of a T-Rex bite, the T-Rex bite method proves more lethal and messy. It's likely that the exposed teeth of the Indom were courtesy of the Dinosuchus, but having exposed teeth can be a problem. Without any lips or gum tissue, the teeth would be at risk of rotting, weakening the enamel. That's if they're not submerged in water regularly. And since our Indom is not submerged in water all the time, we may have a problem here. So today, we'll take the Dinosuchus genome away, since a well-placed bite of a T-Rex powered jaw will be more than enough to handle just about anything alive on land. Instead, we'll make this bite deadlier by the incorporation of a powerful predator known to hunt down animals larger than itself. A cold-blooded killer with a brutal set of teeth. An insatiable thirst for blood, eating more than its body weight every single day. No, seriously, we're not kidding. Meet the northern short-tailed shrew. This animal was selected more so because of what's going on under the hood. See for yourself, this dude's grill features a tiny array of weapons of mass destruction. Jaws loaded with fast twitch muscles and known to gnaw through bone and protective shells in a span of seconds. This red stuff.
Yeah, okay, once more. We know the joke of, dang, nature, you scary. No, nature's scary. What the fudge? This is why I like staying inside. This is... That bite? Seriously? Oh man, we just made the Indom so much worse. Because everything else, caked on top, terrible. It's already going to be a force to be reckoned with. But you give it that level of bite, it's going to tear through everything.
Stuff here, not blood. In fact, any unlucky victim would wish it was. This black and red coloration comes from high amounts of iron ingrained into the composition of the teeth, producing extremely sharp cutting edges capable of sawing into prey. So, in effect, these teeth are metal. If this still fails to impress, we'll have you know that this animal is one of those extremely rare examples of venomous mammals. That's right. Unlike a snake where it injects its venom through its fangs, this creature will violently jam its frontal tusks and insert venom violently all over the place, leaving a bloody mess. Now, some more factors can come into play as well. To make matters worse for the victims of this newly improved Indominus, this shrew lives in a near constant state of adrenaline rush, making it move faster, kill faster, eat faster. It's a freaking gym bro hopped up on 4 scoops of pre-workout, man. In turn, motivating our already hungry Indom to kill at a faster rate. Combine these new tooth attributes with that of a T-Rex bite, and we potentially have the most lethal bite in the Jurassic franchise. This scene, our new Indom would shatter this ball like a light bulb. You may think that this animal can't get any worse, but you're very wrong. Worse. Number 6.
My name is Legion.
What is more dangerous than one hybrid? Multiple. And no, we won't need Mr. Indominus for this, because in this scenario, Miss Indom won't need no man. Admittedly, the Indominus in Jurassic World may have possibly had this ability genetically blocked per se. as to not repeat the same mistakes made in Jurassic Park,
Well, it
where
killed
these
the
raptors started
sibling.
breeding without a male counterpart. We aren't sure of this, but to make this more interesting, we'll allow this ability to play out in order for our new Indom to produce more clones of herself. By adding some whiptail lizard into the mix, an animal known for deliberately reproducing without a mate. This has been seen before already with the Scorpius Rex via parthenogenesis. The Scorpios, however, would undergo a meiosis parthenogenesis, given that the offspring was a bit different than the mother, and not all traits were inherited by the baby Scorpios.
Still gotta watch the
In this scenario,
Camp
all
Cretaceous.
traits and all physical attributes will be passed down from mother to offspring, bringing forth exact replicas of the mother using apomictic parthenogenesis. This increases the likelihood of all of these new Indoms to work together, coordinating attacks like raptors, effectively killing all surrounding human life in a very short time.
Oh,
Not to
everyone on the
mention,
island's
these guys
so
are
dead.
smaller, faster, able to run through hallways in smaller areas, able to grow at much faster rates than your normal dinosaur, and even if the mother dies or gets killed, she'll just end up getting replaced by another identical hybrid who can also reproduce.
They're just gonna-
These smaller hyper-adrenalized hybrids will end up sweeping the island, bringing
Doesn't matter even if you kill 1 or you kill 5, good chances are there's still another 20 just laying around and just continuing to regurgitate more and more. That island would literally need to be scatterbombed to actually cleanse it, and even then you would have to keep doing runs because, again, with all the hide, with all the abilities, with all the intellect, they would probably know to hide, to run, to find cover, to also play dead. These things
down medium-sized creatures via coordinated attacks. In no time, the human and dinosaur population will be rendered down to very few, turning this island sweep into a search and kill operation. We've successfully created an animal that can cause an extinction-level event in this island, but there's a chance
Probably
we could
within
turn this into
an
a
hour.
global catastrophe.
Don't do it.
Number 7, Plague. With so much carnage and bloodshed happening in this island, it will be inevitable for disease to spread. The putrid scent of rotting corpses fills the air as
That's
hordes
true.
of blood-stained Indominus Rexes run around looking for the next thing to kill. One nasty aspect when it comes to genetics is that when dealing with life forms, the microscopic ones are infinitely harder to control. We're talking about viruses. To put this very, very simply, viruses hijack cells and the DNA chain to make copies of themselves. They leave traces of themselves in the host, and the host will leave traces of itself in the virus. So they both exchange information, basically. When the virus jumps to another different species, it will die off because it was not able to replicate. But if it does replicate, then a new strain is made, which can be terrifyingly deadly to this new infected species. What does this have anything to do with our Indominus extinction event?
Oh, please tell me.
61% of all major viruses and bacteria-borne diseases started out in one type of animal before jumping to humans. Consider that the Indominus would be a large-bodied predator roaming over a large area, miring itself with all sorts of diseases, bacteria,
that's
fecal matter,
gross.
blood, and all sorts of pestilent elements. And since it's a hybrid, it will pick up all sorts of bacteria from both birds and mammals. Rabies,
true.
avian pox, flu, and the moment one unlucky human just gets near a place an Indominus has been, drinks the same water, or just breathes the same air, then this dude risks getting contaminated and spreading it out to his companions. But
So
wait,
it would
this
turn
guy is a human.
worldwide.
How did this hybrid infect this human? Well, if you remember, our ape genetic contribution earlier also serves a different purpose, bridging or breaking a genetic barrier for a virus to potentially affect humans, producing a deadly strain spreading amongst anyone who manages to escape the island, both bird and human alike, leaving millions of dead life forms in its wake.
The park would be done. The entire theme park would be done within probably an hour. And then because of the plague, because again, humans would want to take it back, would get that sickness, and then it would turn worldwide. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm very glad that I got recommended this, because this is both a very cool, fun channel, and link description below to Goji's channel, because there's so much here to take a look at. They've done stuff with the Indoraptor as well. They've done a lot with a lot of different kaijus and dinosaurs, which again, highly recommend going and checking out, because this is really cool concept to see. This is really cool. Once again, it makes me want to also play the Jurassic World games because you can actually, I think, alter your dinosaurs. I think that's what was being used in this, but this was really fun. And it once again makes me go, please, scientists, leave DNA in dinosaurs alone. Stop it. But thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this as much as I did, make sure to smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this. If there's any videos you'd like to see me react to, I almost said games. If there's any videos you'd like to see me react to, give me some suggestions right down below. Take them into consideration. And if you're new around here and you've been enjoying what you're seeing, why not click the subscribe button and click that bell to get notified of my next video. I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.